Well, I've got some good news and some bad news for you tonight. We'll start with the bad because that part is relevant here very much so, and that is that unfortunately, as confirmed by the brand themselves, Prada Luna Rossa Black has been discontinued. This is going to be a bummer for some of us. Others of you probably aren't going to care because this is one of those fragrances that aren't quite for everybody. You know, this one's very heavy on the tonka and amber, and we'll dive into that a little bit later. You know, it's just going to go in that sweeter direction. But the one little piece of silver lining out of this whole scenario here is that you can get this one for a discount currently, $102 for 100 mil, which probably doesn't sound like a discount to you, but it retails for $120. And I challenge you to go find it on another discounter where it's actually being discounted and in stock. If you look at all the main ones that are known to sell authentic products, that is, it's not in stock. So it's been like that for a while, which started to raise red flags because there for a while, this was stocked pretty heavily on discounters and it was featured in a lot of my cooler weather videos. And there's something I could always link to on discounters. You can get it for a little bit of a lower price, but it hasn't been that way for months. And so I started doing some digging, and we have confirmation from the brand, which I'll throw up a screenshot of and read it back to you here briefly, that unfortunately it's been discontinued. So again, the only good thing about this scenario is that you can get this one for $102 for a limited time. I'm talking like tomorrow at midnight. As the time of you watching this, the sale is going to end and it's going to be back up to retail price until eventually it just completely phases out and you can no longer get it at all because stock runs out. But they're not currently producing this one anymore. So take advantage of the sale that's going on right now and get this one for $100. I mean, that's a great deal for a great scent that's going to become a piece of history. All right, so here we go. All right, Prada. Thank you for your email and your interest in our products. We regret to inform you that the item you were looking for is no longer available as it belongs to an old collection and is currently out of production. That's basically it. Like I said, that screenshot will be up there. The only important part that has any sort of usefulness is the fact that they said, yeah, this is not being made anymore. Now that's a bummer, but when you take a look at the history of this DNA, it's not a whole lot of a surprise. You can go back to something like Midnight in Paris, which at one point was a cheapie. It's got a really cool bottle, has a similar feel to this one, you know, that kind of sweet tonka bean powdery smell. They cut that one off. Prices on that are crazy now. Same thing with Bulgari Black, the little hockey puck shaped looking bottle. Similar DNA also, and also discontinued. So I think Prada was really trying here and they held on to it for a good while, so I do respect that. But this type of thing just doesn't really work in the real world. And by the real world, I mean everything outside of the community. This one is a nice little beloved gem here in the community for people who like something in this genre for the cooler weather. But past that, it just doesn't work. So I'm going to run through this one here really quickly and I'll just kind of give you some information on it. That way you can decide to either pick it up or if you just want to, you know, hear about the scent, or maybe you already know and you're going to pick up a backup bottle anyway. Let me know down below in the comments if you do plan on getting this one or you've gotten it already. So we'll take a look at the notes first because there's some ones in here that don't make a lot of sense. Top note, bergamot. Just one. In the mid, we have angelica and patchouli. In the base, we have tonka bean, amber, and musk. So the base is really all you get out of this stuff. You don't get any bergamot, or at least I don't. I don't really get any of the mid, the patchouli, that sort of thing. But it's all about this nice, dusty, powdery tonka bean with this creamy, silky, smooth amber underneath that, and a light bed of musk. For the most part, it's a pretty linear scent. Basically, what you get in the opening is what you're going to get 7 hours later in the dry down. So it's not going to change on you a whole lot. It's one of those deals where if you do a spray of this one and you smell it and you like it, and this is on skin, of course, you're going to have that scent throughout the entirety of the wearing experience. So that can either be a good thing for you or a bad thing for you. There are tons of fragrances out there that really change a lot. This is not one of them though. But even in the air, it still smells very nice. You know, it has a smooth aspect about it, which I think is pretty admirable. And it's just a different style of fragrance, right? And that's where it kind of has a problem, because a lot of people out there that walk into a department store and they start smelling all of these, right? Just from Prada alone, they're going to pick something like Prada Luna Rossa Ocean or Prada Carbon or Prada L'Homme over this one. That's just what's going to happen almost every time. And same thing with Prada Luna Rossa Extreme. That's going to be this one right here. Super sweet looking bottle, and the scent is even better. I'm sure at one point people are like, oh, there's no way they would discontinue Prada Luna Rossa Extreme. It's one of their best fragrances. Well, what's best to us and what's best to what sells are usually completely different. And that's the same thing here. I know it might be a little bit hard to believe for some, but it doesn't really surprise me at all. I mean, these were a couple of their best ones, and now they are both being cut off. Well, this one has been, and this one is on the way out. So if you've seen the prices on Man Extreme, or Luna Rossa Extreme, I don't know why I said Man Extreme, but if you've seen the prices on this one, you would know not to mess around here. And if you have any sort of doubts or you're on the fence and you're kind of wishy-washy, I would lean on the side of picking this up while you can, because here's the thing. You could sell it later on down the road for more than what you paid for it. So that's something to keep in mind if you end up not liking it. Just hold on to it for a little bit and you can sell it for a little bit of a profit. Not that I recommend doing that and flipping stuff all the time, right? That's something where, you know, you see it happen. I can't stop you. No one can stop anybody. But it helps ease your mind a little bit if you don't want to miss out on a piece of history in the making here. That is an option for you. I believe they also discontinued Luna Rossa Sport, didn't they? So it's also kind of a bummer, and I just don't know what their plans are with the line here, but they're clearing house and they're not messing around. So this one, to me, really embodies the feeling of wintertime, especially. It'll work great in fall, and the fact that it's not overly sweet like you may think, at least compared to what's being put out nowadays, it works great in the fall. But just the smell, it kind of reminds me almost of the holidays, that sort of thing, you know, around Christmas time, New Year's Eve, that sort of thing, right, where you're really into winter now and it's really cooling off and you're just in that cold weather mood. That's kind of what this one just brings into my mind for me. But again, like I had said, it's going to work in fall as well, and even spring, you know, early spring before it warms up too much, because even off the opening, it does have a little bit of a freshness to it, believe it or not. Now it's not freshy by any means, but they do a good job of balancing this one out, and I do really hate to see this one go, because this is something that would have made it into some of my cold weather lists coming up, but I can't. Well, I guess I could until it gets phased out, but you know, it's just sad to see this one go. Believe it or not, this is one of those fragrances that I slept on for a long while, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe I sampled this one first. I think I got a sample of it and tried it and ended up liking it and picking up a bottle later on, but I really put it off for a long time, and I regret doing that now because I could have had longer to wear it up until this point. I'm going to pick up another backup bottle. I already have one backup. I'll probably get one more just so I can wear it comfortably every so often and not cringe every time I spray it, which I've been spraying it up in the air like an idiot anyway, completely forgot. But, you know, that's just kind of what it is. Sad to see that this one is being cut off, but at the end of the day, we really can't dwell on it too much. They're going to keep putting stuff out. The world's going to keep moving. Tons of new fragrances are going to be being put out. They got to make room sometime, and we'll find something else. But I just primarily wanted to make this video so you guys could take advantage of this sale. It's 15% off retail, which is well above anywhere else I've seen this one. Again, on discounters, it's been out of stock everywhere for months, so I would scoop this one up. Also, on that same sale, you can get 15% off Prada L'Homme, putting it at $85 for 100 ml, which also Prada L'Homme on discounters has been a little bit out of stock, or the prices have been up. So it's one of the better deals I've seen on Prada L'Homme lately. A lot of good stuff. I'll link this down below, the sale. It ends tomorrow at midnight, so don't wait around. This is not going to be around for very long, the sale anyway. This will still be in stock after for a while, I'm sure, but don't sleep on it. And I will see you over on my community tab, like I had mentioned before. That's where I post deals. I posted about this one. A lot of you guys have scooped it up already. Make sure you get subscribed so you can see those deals and take advantage of them, because we're posting a lot of stuff over there multiple times a day. If you want to save some money, that's where you need to be. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.